What's up guys, I'm Iceburg TCG, and today we're going to be playing some Iceburg against the premier deck of the current format, Blue Purple Luffy. I will be playing both sides, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to win on the Blue Purple side. I want to give you guys a good show on what these decks are both capable of, and see if Iceburg can really win this matchup. Alright, let's roll for high. Alright, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, that's a 6. Iceburg's going first. 5. Alright, so the hand I just drew is 2 of the 5-cost Khalifa recursion tools, a 2K Khalifa, a Kokoro, and a Water 7 Searcher. This is a pretty good hand if you ask me. It gives me a way to find Water 7 on my 3-Dawn turn. Kokoro helps me find some more Gallilaw targets. It isn't amazing in the fact that I don't have many 6K Gallilaw bodies, which I kind of need in this matchup, but I think I'll keep anyways, just so that I can guarantee I have stage and some flexibility in my options. So this, if you ask me, is an immediate mulligan. We don't need all of our late game this early. We only have 1K counter in hand. Overall, that is a definition of a mulligan. Alright, this isn't phenomenal, but we have a ramp piece, we have some blockers, and we have some of our late game. Overall, the hand's pretty fine. And let's start. Good luck. Go to 1 Dawn. Tap 1 to play out Kokoro. Search our top 5 for a Water 7 character. We will be picking up Kaku, a good, nice 6K body. And we will pass our turn. Alright, draw for turn. Go up 2 Dawn and pass. Draw for turn. That is a Kamazo. Go up to 3. Tap 1 for the new EBO2 Iceburg Searcher. If I have 3 or more Dawn cards on my field, I can look at the top 7 cards of my deck and reveal and play a Gallilaw stage. So that's 7 cards, and we didn't even need to go that deep, it's right at the top. Now we will activate Leader Effect to -1 and play out Kaku from our hand, and we will use Stage to ramp it back and pass the turn. Draw for turn. Go up 2 Dawn. I think the smart choice here is to just use Bonk Play, saving Gear Second for possible counter value in hand. Tap 4 Dawn. Bonk Play. Ramp an active Dawn. Then we will swing 7K to Iceburg. So we're just going to take no trigger. 2 Dawn. Draw for turn. This is active. Swing 7 to lead. Now, this actually isn't a great position to be in as the Blue Purple Luffy, since I have no 2Ks in hand, so I can't simply defend this hit, so we will just have to take. No trigger. Alright, I will tap 4 Dawn to play out Khalifa. Then I'll use my Leader Effect to minus a Dawn, play Kaku from hand, and then use Gallilaw's effect to re-ramp that Dawn, and then pass the turn. Alright, that was a pretty nice turn, filling up the board. Let's see if we can get... We're hoping for a God Threat on this turn so that we can start answering some of the board, but we'll have to settle for... Let's start by swinging 6 into Kaku. Now, I personally would want to get more resources for my life here, so I am perfectly fine with just letting the Kaku go. Apologies for the glare. I'm getting adjusted to this new setup, and I will be trying to improve the lighting and quality in the future. Alright, so since they took that Kaku so easily, I will not be swinging with Bon Clay, as it can be used later down the line to push more pressure or even help contend with a even bigger board state. So I will be tapping 1 for Gear 2, rest 2 of my Dawn to ramp a Rested, This puts me at 8, so leader effect is active next turn. Then we will tap 3 to play my personal tech choice in this deck of 3-cost Doflamingo. We will look at the top 5 cards of our deck. Alright, not bad, but not really what we're looking for our leader effect next turn. So we're just going to put these to the bottom and pass the turn. Alright. Get 2 down. Draw for turn. Alright, so this turn we're just going to try to put as much pressure on them as possible, since they cannot use a Gum Giant this early in the game, and they want to use leader effect next turn, so we're going to be swinging some nice numbers at them and just see if we can get them to take another life or reduce hand size. First, we'll be ramping a Dawn with Galley Law Company, putting me at 8, so that I can tap 4 to play out this Onami. I will be discarding this 5-cost Khalifa so that I can draw 2 cards since I have 8 or more Dawn cards on my field. Swing 6 to lead, Dawn -1, draw 2 cards, discard 1 from my hand. We will be discarding the Onami so that possibly we can pick it back up with Khalifa later down the line. 1k. Alright, we will swing 7 to lead with Kaku, 2k. Now we will use leader effect, minusing 1 Dawn, to play out Tilestone over this Iceburg. Pass the turn. Alright, so leader effect activates. We will look at the top 5 cards of my deck. Alright, some pretty great targets, honestly. We can't pick up any like 2Ks or anything off of this, but Gear 2 provides some extra counter in hand. Now, we will probably be playing this 8-cost Katakuri off of the Sanji, since 9-cost Luffy doesn't really do us much good in a board state like this, and 8-cost Katakuri enables us to use 9-cost Luffy or even the Big Mom in our hand later down the line, and still have 1 Dawn up for Giant afterwards. So we will pick up the Gear 2, stack our deck like this, get 2 Dawn. Our stuff is active, draw for turn. So we are going to swing 6 into the Kaku here. Now 6 is an interesting number. It leads me to believe that they do have the Sanji in hand and will not be swinging with a Rush Luffy, 9-cost or 8-cost, since they most likely would have played out the 8-cost first to bounce my Onami, or the 9-cost would be able to threaten my Kaku enough in order for me to use my blocker. So I will be using 1k. Alright, we'll tap 9 for Sanji, playing Katakuri, and passing the turn with 1 Dawn up. Alright, our stuff was able to survive. 2 Dawn, draw for turn. Galley Law effect, Grandpa Dawn. Alright, so since my board is pretty much full currently, I should try and not play characters over my existing ones right now. So we're going to just maximize our Dawn usage. 7 to lead, Dawn -1, draw 2. Discarding Kokoro. I will block with Katakuri. Swing 8 to lead. I will tap 1 Dawn and play Gear 2, plus 3,000 in my lead. Alright, then I will swing 9 to lead. I will block with Doflamingo, leader effect. Dawn -1 to play a 5-cost Khalifa over Kokoro. Picking up 2 4-costs or less from my trash, adding them back to my hand. we will pick up this Onami blocker, and we will be picking up this Kokoro and passing the turn. So picking up no 2Ks off of that Khalifa actually gives me the information that they probably have a good amount in hand. Leader effect. So this isn't great, especially since we don't have a Sanji in hand and having to use our hand to counter out of the wide amount of swings. But I think if we simply take the Gear 2 right now and just play the 9-cost Big Mom from hand, sending the rest of this to the bottom, it should hopefully filter us into another Sanji. Gear 2, put the rest to the bottom, draw for turn, swing 6 to Khalifa, so I will take 8 at the Tile Stone. Again, we are going to take. On KO, I will ramp a Rest of Dawn, 9 at Kaku, 2 2Ks. Alright, we got some cards out of their hand. They didn't use the blocker, but still. Spend 9 Dawn for Big Mom, -1, discarding the Gum Gum Giant, healing 1, and then putting Kaku to bottom of life. Alright, that kind of sucks. End of turn, I will set Katakuri as active and ramp a Rest of Dawn. Your turn. We're just going to be trying to rebuild our board this turn. Let's tap Wandon for Kokoro, searching top 5 for a Water 7. Alright, well, at least we're sending 2 stages to the bottom, we don't need them right now. Poly could be nice so that we can deal with the threat of the Bomb Clay, so let's pick up that. Leader effect, -1. Play out Poly, tap 2 Don, ramp an active, KO Bomb Clay. Admittedly, I probably should have swung with it earlier. We want to play this Reiju to draw some more cards, but that means that we can't swing this early on, so we need to play it now. 4 Dawn for Reiju. Our amount of Dawn is equal, so I will draw 2 cards. 4 Dawn. Play Lueno. Lueno effect. Dawn -1. Playing Kaku from my trash over the Reiju. This lets me pick it up from Khalifa in the future. Stage effect, ramp a Rest of Dawn. Your go. Leader effect. Alright, this is kind of interesting, honestly. Pick up the Giant and stack this like this. Off turn. Swing 8 to lead. Our life total's not exactly hurting, so we will take, no trigger. We will swing 9 to lead, take, no trigger, swing another 9 to lead, block. 8 to lead, I wasn't expecting 8. I guess we'll take, no trigger. Well, things could not be going more our way. So we're going to rest 7 to Gravity Blade, bottom decking Kaku and Poly. Things are looking pretty bleak, guys. I don't know about this. I'll pass my turn. End of my turn, so these 2 is active. Draw for turn. We will spend 9 for Luffy, -1 to draw a card and give him Rush. Then we will swing 10 to lead, block, tap 1 to Gear 2. Jeez, we are just getting no cards out of him right now. Alright, I'll Galley Log. Alright, well they did block with Katakuri, so 6 to lead, take. No trigger. Leader effect, minus to play Khalifa from hand. Use her effect, -1 to add back both Kamazo and the 2K Khalifa to my hand. And pass the turn. Leader effect, still no Sanjis, but the Big Mom is fine. Utsuhachi, draw for turn. 8 to lead. We should be countering these just because of the bigger swings, so we will use the 2 2Ks that they are aware of. I'll swing 9 to lead. It's becoming more clear that they're probably going to try to go for lethal on me, so I should counter out of these smaller swings. 2K, 2K, and 1K. Honestly, right here, we don't even need to play Big Mom. They only have about like 5 cards in hand. So we can honestly just use the Sanji to swing big at the Luffy and then play out like a Doflamingo blocker and leave a Dawn up. And we're completely in the clear. 15 to Luffy. Wow, yeah, things are just not going our way. They even could have gone for game. Yeah, we got no 2Ks, so I'll take. They definitely don't have any 2Ks, so we'll just go 6 to lead. Double 1K. Alright, I will tap 3 Dawn to play Doflamingo. Look at the top 5 cards. Pass the turn to these 2 as active. Alright, draw for turn. Alright, things are not looking great for us. We've really only been able to get out of a lot of our 5K bodies and keep dealing with our 6K ones. It seems we weren't able to put on enough threat this game. 7 to lead. My only 2K in hand is Usahachi, so if they play a blocker, I want to keep that. So we're just going to take no trigger. Alright, we'll swing another 7 to lead. We will block with Katakuri. Yeah, things are just not going Iceburg's way. 7 to lead. Well, they don't have any more swings, so we will just tap 1 to Giant, -2, discard the God Thread to draw 2 cards. Alright, we're gonna tap 4 Dawn for Onami, discarding Bueno to draw 2 cards. That kind of hurts, but at least put up 2K. And your turn. Alright, leader effect. We're going to just pick up the Sanji 2K. Yeah, we're just gonna tap 3, Usahachi, rest your Onami. It's never been more over. 9 to lead, take, no trigger, 9 to lead, 2K, 1K, 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 7 to lead, take, and I'll just swing 14 to lead. Yep, I got nothing. So, Iceburg did not really do good at all on this. I think this is a great example of how the meta has shifted. You know, Iceburg was great into Whitebeard, the previous meta-dominant 6K leader, but that's not the meta anymore. In order to contend with something like Blue-Purple Luffy, you don't just need 6K bodies to swing at their face. They have too much defensive capabilities in order for just a couple of 6Ks to do the job. That's why you need a more aggressive start like Bello Betty, or you need a way in order to clean up their board so that they don't have big threats, such as using Lucci. Now, was this still fun? Of course it is. Iceburg is one of my favorite decks, but is it his time in the meta? Not at all. But I still say play him. Have some fun. Try it out. Especially if you're newer to the game, it's fun to try out some old leaders. This was the 3rd leader I ever picked up, so have some fun. Play an old leader. See why new cards are so strong. Heck, you know, maybe you'll find a nice little tech card. Maybe you want to put 4-cost Khalifa in something. Maybe you want to, I don't know, play Tilestone. This deck is not very good anymore. See ya!